Nothing makes my world a better place. Give it up again. Alright, so I said to Glenn, I need something like what? No, not yet. Go back. I said to Glenn, I need something to put like on the poster that y'all have that says like, Glenn, storyteller. And he goes, Glenn, just a guy in a dress and a wink and a smile. And I'm like, that's not gonna fit on the poster. How about storyteller? He's like, oh, that's good too, yeah. So, Glenn, now with a dress and a wink and a smile.
So, have you ever felt like the last virgin on the planet? You're somewhere and everybody else is getting some and you're not getting any. And what happens, of course, is that you have this kind of look of desperation about you. It's just kind of like, that's what you exude. And everybody knows that, so what do? They run the other direction, which just makes the whole problem worse. And what was even perhaps worse was that I was 22 years old, I was still a virgin, and I enrolled at Goddard College up in Vermont in the early 1970s, which was, now you know how old I am, oh my God. And that was a place that was really, you know, it had do your own program, and there was, the word was it was a great place for sex and drugs going on all the time up there. And I enrolled up there, which was really not the place for somebody who feels very self-conscious about still being a virgin, because that's exactly how I felt. Everybody's getting some and I'm the last guy who doesn't have any. And during the whole first term I was there, that's what I felt like, and pretty much all the people in my dorm started to figure out that I was like pretty desperate. And it got to be like the last couple of weeks in the term, and you know how it is at the end, people are sort of like getting ready to say goodbye to each other, and you have to, you know, finish up the last bit of your coursework and start packing up your things in your dorm room and all that. And so I forgot all about it. And one of the things I was doing, I was taking a course in video production. This is way back in the days of black and white, reel-to-reel, you know, very heavy equipment and so on. And there was a woman who was a senior who was in the dance program, and she had asked me to volunteer to make a video of her senior dance performance. So the time came, there was about a week left in the term, and I went down to the big theater and we did the whole thing, and she helped me carry all this heavy equipment into my car back up to the dorm room where I had to stay locked up with it all night so nobody would steal it. And we get up there to my room, and all this lifting, she'd been dancing, whatever, and she says, she had an apartment down in town, she says, I'm too tired to go back home. Can I sleep here? And I, strangely enough, had a single room with just one twin bed in it. So I said, well, okay, I guess so. And I went off to brush my teeth in the bathroom. I came back, she's sound asleep in my bed. And I usually sleep nude, and I thought, you know, I don't know if this is like I'm being too aggressive here by climbing into bed with her nude, because, you know, she hasn't invited me to do anything. So I put blue jeans on and went to bed. And because that's the best thing, I was really sort of freaked out. And somehow I fell asleep. I think it was like this much room for me to lie next to her in the bed. So in the morning, we both woke up. This was like in April, so the sun came up pretty early. And she slides her hand down under the waistband of the jeans, and she says, why don't you take these off? And I said, okay. So she starts fondling me with her hand, and I'm like getting very aroused, and we try to get started, and I'm not getting very far in. And then she says the most amazing thing, which I can remember to this day, and you would too if someone said this to you. She says, boy, have you got a big dick, mister. And I was, you know, I had no experience. I didn't know how I compared. I'm not one of those guys who's looking over at the urinal when someone else is peeing in the men's room. So I had no, you know, I hadn't a clue. And I found out later, you know what, that basically women told me the secret. They said, it's not the length, it's the girth. Okay, whatever. So then of course I came too soon, and I apologized, and she was saying, that's okay, it's not a problem and all that. And there was, only a couple days before the term was over, and so I packed up all my stuff out of my dorm room, drove my little red and white VW microbus full of all my things down to her apartment, parked my car, and she had 2 more weeks in her apartment, and we made love so many times I lost count.
Yeah, let's give it up for Glenn's giant penis. Our next performance is a burlesque act.